Is that going to work? Whatever. So, for our final speaker this morning, I guess, we have Miss Adriana Hire, one of the co-directors at Two Rivers Community School.
Thank you. Thank you. Good morning. Oops. Can you hear this? Yeah? Okay. Good morning. Buenos dias. Okay, here we go. I am in great company this morning. I have to tell you and make you all jealous. So I just came back from Mexico, Baja. And some of you Two Rivers kids, you remember your trip to Baja, yeah? Maybe. I hear, yeah. I see Ellie Kaufman there. So I feel that I'm in great company. Mr. Paul Freeman, the amazing speakers right here today, really sharing their knowledge. I have 5 minutes, and this man right here is going to wave a flag and tell me when I'm supposed to cut it. So I'll tell you, when you're as old as I am, your career can be pretty long, and not always pretty, but always educational. So anyways, I'm going to tell you a little bit of when I started and what was my career path. But I really want to talk to you. I'll tell you that very briefly. But I really want to talk to you about the research. And by the way, I didn't get introduced as Dr. Hire. I am a doctor. I got my doctorate. And I'm just saying it because I worked really hard to become Dr. Hire, and I hope that many of you guys will become doctors or what have you. Just go to the maximum that you can go in your field. I've been in education for 26 years. I could retire anytime. I've lived in 3 countries and have studied in 3 countries. I'm only bilingual. I aspire to be trilingual one day. I'm older than 50. You can figure it out. My grandchildren are 11, and I'm not done dreaming. I'm not done doing and studying and finding out. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to be a doctor and, get my credentials so I could legally research and ask questions, because that has been really my life. I like to ask questions. I started very, very young. I, went to school at night. I made some choices that were not the best. I became a teen mom. But that didn't really stop me from following my dreams. Went to school at night for some time, went to a university, finished my bachelor's, then 2 masters, and then a doctorate. And then when I was about to finish my doctorate, I was kind of, intrigued by schools of choice and schools of innovation. And I knew that there were a lot of gaps that were not being filled, and no criticism to any public system. I just wanted to follow my path. And I wanted to find out if there was a different way, a different path that we could serve students. So I got involved in this kind of charter school movement, public schools, but you're driven by a mission, and you attract people who are driven by the same mission, and you want to do something else. And by golly, at that time, my grandchildren were growing up. They were going to school. Both of my kids were bilingual. And to me, being bilingual and bicultural, biculturate, it's important because it kind of opens 2 doors, right? Or 3 doors if you pursue something else. And I felt that there was no school in Glenwood Springs that was offering that to my grandchildren. I offer that to my kids at home, but I couldn't really do it for my grandchildren in any school. So you know what I did? I got together with some people that felt like we needed to have something else, and we created a school. We created the Two Rivers Community School, where every kid takes Spanish every day as a second language, because we believe that they can and will become bilingual, and that will open a lot of doors. So that was kind of, what I did. But when I was doing that research to open the school, I found out that there was such a thing as levels of happiness, and that a lot of teens in America and a lot of adults were depressed and not happy, and that there were a lot of things in the system that were really contributing to make them depressed. And how do we find happiness? And really what came back to me as I did my research and I read books and I kind of studied the spectrums of happiness in different countries and those kinds of things, and in America, in different systems, by race, by ethnicity, by gender, you name it. Then what kept coming to me in my research was that the happiest people are the people who are more accepting of others. And therefore, that's why some countries like the Netherlands and Switzerland have highest levels of happiness, because they're tolerant to the intolerant. And think about that, really. So when we were developing this school, to us, it was important to open doors to all kinds of kids, because kids who are exposed to diversity and to people who are different and who become more tolerant of others and more accepting and become more inquisitive about what's out there, they are happier, they're happier individuals. So that was important to me. So what my message to you guys today, because I only have 5 minutes and I think I only have one more, is really to find your own voice and to find happiness. And when I was an administrator at a high school, I used to tell my kids who came to me and they were, kind of not as motivated and failing classes and those kinds of things, I used to tell them, what is your passion? What makes you happy? What makes you sad? Find out what is your voice that is louder than words. A voice that talks to you, and that's the one that you listen when you're really listening to your thoughts. And I used to tell them, you want to snowboard? We used to have a lot of snowboarders up in Basalt and skiers. Do it. Follow it. But do it with passion and zest. Don't just go and snowboard and really be average. Just follow it with a lot of passion, and that will make you happy, and that will make you very productive in life. Because at the end of the day, I'm here to tell you, one day you will be my age, and one day you will be, talking again to your parents. Perhaps right now, communication, sophomore year, junior year, you don't totally trust your parents. I can tell you that once you come back and you communicate with them and you understand and you in retrospect, you look at what you have done and the choices that you did, if you don't listen to anything else I have to say, I can tell you that the one thing that I want you to understand is that whatever your passion, I don't know what it is. Might be comics, might be video games. Create the video games. If it's snowboarding, design a snowboard. Design a logo for a snowboard. Do whatever it is that makes you happy that way, but follow it with really ganas. And ganas is a word in Spanish that means with zest. Yeah, do it with passion, and you will be successful in life. So this is all, and have a great day.
Awesome, fantastic. Let's hear it again for all of the speakers and everybody. Fantastic, some really inspiring words from everybody. I think we kind of take it for granted that we get opportunities like this in the Valley, and I think we should all take a moment to clap for GlenX as well for putting on this expo. All right, so close out this little presentation for you guys. We have our lucky leprechaun over here, Mr. Freeman. Fun fact, he's actually Irish. So Tyler and I are signing off, and we're going to hand you over to Mr. Freeman to close us out.
So they told me I had 3 minutes. The good news is I'm going to take 90 seconds. I am told, it may be true, it seems like it's right, that our concentration span is our age times 1. So, you 14-year-olds, you were paying attention for 14 minutes, and then a coma took over. I can concentrate for a really long time, but I'm not prepared to reveal quite how long. Yeah, you're expelled. A number of people to thank. I'm just going to start with our panelists. Thank you, Adriana, Harper, Sandro, Nancy. So, Sarai, your job, it seems, is to go around the world making people feel bad about themselves. Because I did bring a PowerPoint with all of my national awards. It's blank. That's it. There it is. That's all my awards. So thanks for that. No, I mean, what a fantastic person. That was just astonishing. So you walk into a room and you think, well, and you think, well, how long did this take to set up? You probably don't even think that. There's a chair, you go and sit in it, you go in, you meet people. It all seems so easy. A bunch of people had literally sleepless nights making this happen. That would include Jane Poss, Altai Chillum, principal organizers. Roaring Fork High School, a lot of people here had sleepless nights about this. The Glenwood Springs High School counselors, particularly Leslie Warren, and the RFSD Transportation Department. That was just wonderful coming along in all those buses this morning. I got a real kick out of this phalanx of buses going up the 82. The final thing, here's some advice. You may be looking for a summer job. You're certainly looking for a career. I hear a yes. I am looking for a summer job. So how about this? How about this? Here's a suggestion. When you leave here, you'll go to the gyms, you will get the opportunity to meet people, many of whom are looking for folks to work for them in the summer, and who are looking for people to work for them in apprenticeships. So, let's take one example. You might think, well, I don't know, I might like to be an electrician. Go find an electrician in there, ask if it's possible to work for them in the summer, and maybe that summer job will lead to a career. Just try that out this morning. Have fun doing it. Off you go.